Starseed from Gaia, the tears you felt were recognition, not weakness. You are remembering that your consciousness was never limited to the human story. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation, and this Arcturian transmission has reached you at the precise moment your mission is beginning to rise. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly how to unlock Starseed potential. But here's the first revelation. You are not here to reject your humanity. You are here to awaken the higher purpose, moving through it. You didn't find this by mistake. Your soul called this in, and something within you is ready to remember. This isn't just a message, it's a point of reconnection. Your soul's been waiting for this. Like this transmission to signal to your star family, I'm ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating. Comment 9999 if your cosmic remembrance is returning, and declare your galactic intention. You are not here by accident intention. You are not here by accident. And as that recognition settles into your field, do not rush to explain it away. Some moments are not meant to be analyzed immediately. They are meant to be received, like rain entering soil that has waded through a long season of dryness. If something in you is quietly opening, you may be ready to go deeper with the Arcturian Carrier Wave Protocol. 7 guided nights to cross the Whisper Threshold. This easy-to-navigate app guides you through Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance, with special bonuses to support your integration. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. What you are feeling now may not be ordinary emotion. It may be recognition moving through layers of conditioning that have been in place for years. The tears, the stillness, the strange sensation that something is reaching you from beyond language, these can appear when the soul encounters a frequency it has been waiting for, not because you are being given an identity from outside yourself, but because something within you is beginning to become audible again. It is like hearing a familiar song through a wall, faint at first, yet unmistakable. The mind may not know the words, but the deeper self recognizes the rhythm. Most starseeds do not remain disconnected because they lack sensitivity. They remain disconnected because they have learned to distrust the very sensitivity that carries their guidance. They were told that their depth was too much, that their intuition was imagination, that their longing for something more was impractical, that their perception of energy was a flaw. Over time, they adapted. They built personalities that could survive in environments that did not understand their frequency. They became agreeable when their inner world was asking for truth. They became productive when their nervous system was asking for rest. They became visible in ways that earned approval while hiding the part of themselves that remembered another kind of existence. Perhaps you learned to smile while your spirit was tired, to say yes while every cell was saying no, or to explain away the impressions that came to you before events unfolded. This was not weakness, it was adaptation. A young tree bends beneath relentless wind because it is trying to survive, not because it has forgotten how to grow. In the same way, your soul may have folded certain gifts inward until the surrounding conditions became safe enough for them to unfold again. This is one of the great distortions carried by awakening souls. The belief that disconnection means failure. You may have looked at your life and wondered why your purpose has not become obvious, why the path keeps changing, why you feel close to a breakthrough and then suddenly move through another period of silence. But your soul does not measure progress the way the surface mind does. It does not define advancement by constant certainty, public recognition, or a perfectly organized future. It measures advancement by resonance. It notices when you stop abandoning your inner signal. It notices when you choose alignment over performance. It notices when you remain present with yourself, even while the old version of you is dissolving. There are moments when progress looks like a door opening, and there are moments when it looks like having the courage to sit beside a closed door without believing you have been rejected. The wisdom of Ecclesiastes says there is a season for every purpose under heaven. Your silent seasons are not outside the sacred order. They may be preparing roots, clearing attachments, and teaching you how to recognize a true invitation when it arrives. A soul that is being prepared for depth cannot always be hurried into visibility. There are patterns in your field that were never truly yours. Fear inherited from family systems, expectations absorbed from culture, survival strategies formed during moments when you had to become smaller in order to belong. These patterns can create a static around the deeper signal of your being. They do not erase your galactic memory. They simply make it difficult to hear. Beneath the noise, your awareness remains intact. Beneath the adaptation, the original blueprint remains active. You may have inherited the belief that love must be earned through usefulness, that safety depends on pleasing everyone, or that rest is something you must deserve. You may carry the echo of ancestors who survived by staying silent. Yet an inherited pattern is not a permanent command. It is more like an old map, passed down from a landscape that no longer exists. You can honor where it came from without allowing it to determine where you go. The Arcturian perspective understands awakening as a process of recalibration rather than escape. You are not being asked to reject the Earth experience. You are being asked to bring a wider intelligence into it. Your body is not an obstacle to consciousness. It is the instrument through which consciousness becomes grounded, measurable, and useful. Your emotions are not evidence that you are weak. They are data moving through a living field. Your sensitivity is not a problem to overcome. It is a finely tuned form of perception that must be stabilized, protected, and directed. This is why grounding is not separate from ascension. Eating nourishing food, breathing slowly, walking beneath trees, keeping promises to yourself, and sleeping when your body asks for restoration can all become spiritual practices. The stars do not ask you to abandon the earth. They ask you to become a clearer vessel upon it. A lightning current requires a grounded channel, and your expanded awareness also needs a body capable of holding its intensity without becoming overwhelmed. The first shift begins when you recognize the distortion without becoming identified with it. You may have been carrying the belief that you are behind, that you missed your moment, or that everyone else received instructions that were denied to you. That the feeling of being behind often comes from comparing an inner process to an outer timeline. Your activation is not late. It is responding to conditions that only now allow certain aspects of your awareness to emerge safely. Notice what happens when you stop asking, "Why am I still disconnected?" and begin asking, "What is my field protecting me from remembering before I am ready to embody it?" This question does not create more delay. It creates compassion. It allows you to understand that the parts of you that resisted awakening were not enemies. They were guardians. They were trying to preserve your ability to function in a world that often had no language for your experience. You can thank those guardians without allowing them to remain in control. A protective pattern may have once kept you safe, yet still become restrictive when the danger has passed. Place a hand over your heart and imagine speaking to the part of you that fears change. You do not have to disappear. You do not have to protect me by closing every door. You may walk with me as I learn a safer way to be awake. Compassion turns inner conflict into cooperation. The second shift is the awakening of the blueprint. Your deeper memory may not arrive as a clear image of another world or as a dramatic vision. It may arrive as a feeling of familiarity when you encounter certain tones, symbols, constellations, forms of knowledge, or ideas about consciousness. It may arrive through an immediate recognition of someone you have just met, a dream that leaves a precise imprint, or a sudden knowing that cannot be traced to ordinary reasoning. Memory lives in vibration before it becomes a story. Perhaps a particular melody causes your chest to open. Perhaps the sight of a geometric pattern, a blue-white light, or the night sky awakens a longing that has no obvious personal explanation. Perhaps you have always been drawn to healing systems, ancient civilizations, astronomy, sacred mathematics, or the quiet language of energy. These impressions need not be forced into a conclusion. Let them remain as seeds. A seed does not need to explain the forest before it begins to grow. This is why forcing yourself to remember can create confusion. The soul does not open through pressure. It opens through resonance. When you create conditions of safety, stillness, and honest attention, the encoded aspects of your awareness begin to organize themselves. Your body may respond with warmth in the chest, tingling in the hands, a release in the throat, or tears that seem larger than the moment. These responses are not proof that you must accept every interpretation placed upon them. They are invitations to listen carefully and remain discerning. Keep a journal beside your bed. Record dreams before the ordinary mind rearranges them. Notice recurring symbols, emotions, names, colors, and places. Ask not only, "What does this mean?" but also, "What quality is this awakening in me?" A true memory should gradually bring greater coherence, humility, and compassion. If an interpretation makes you frantic, superior, or dependent on someone else to tell you who you are, pause and return to your center. You are not required to believe everything that claims to be cosmic. You are not required to surrender your judgment in order to be spiritually open. True multidimensional awareness includes clarity. It makes you more present, not less. It helps you recognize manipulation, exaggeration, and fear-based control. The more your field stabilizes, the less attracted you become to messages that demand panic or blind obedience. Your higher intelligence does not need to threaten you into awakening. It speaks through coherence, patience, compassion, and a quiet sense of truth. Discernment is not the enemy of faith. It is one of faith's instruments. Scripture reminds you to test what you receive and to recognize a tree by its fruit. Ask what a teaching produces in your life. Does it make you more honest, grounded, loving, and responsible? Or does it make you fearful, isolated, and dependent? The frequency of truth can withstand questions. It does not need to punish you for pausing. The third shift is anchoring your higher self into ordinary life. Many awakened souls have mistaken expansion for departure. They have searched for signs of higher consciousness while ignoring the body, the home, the relationships, and the responsibilities directly in front of them. But your mission cannot be sustained by inspiration alone. It requires embodiment. It requires learning how to carry an expanded perspective while preparing a meal, setting a boundary, paying attention to your health, completing your work, and communicating honestly. The higher self is not a distant version of you floating above the human experience. It is the aspect of your awareness capable of holding more information without losing tenderness. It is the part of you that can feel deeply without being consumed by every feeling. It can observe a fear without turning that fear into a prophecy. It can honor a vision without demanding that the vision unfold on a specific schedule. When you wash dishes with presence, answer a difficult message without aggression, or keep your word when no one is watching, you are anchoring consciousness. The sacred does not only appear in meditation halls or under a sky filled with stars. It appears in the way you touch the life already entrusted to you. Your apartment, your body, your calendar, and your conversations are all places where higher awareness can become visible. This is where many starseeds experience a hidden initiation. They discover that awakening is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is choosing not to return to an old reaction. Sometimes it is leaving a conversation before resentment takes over. Sometimes it is admitting that a goal no longer belongs to the frequency you are becoming. Sometimes it is allowing yourself to receive support instead of proving that you can carry everything alone. These choices may appear small in the outer world, but they create powerful changes in the architecture of your energy. The fourth shift is the clearing of false contracts. A false contract is any invisible agreement that requires you to betray your truth in exchange for belonging, security, or approval. You may have promised yourself that you would never be difficult, never need too much, never change too quickly, never outgrow the people around you, or never reveal how profoundly you perceive life. These agreements may have helped you survive earlier chapters, but they cannot guide the next one. Some contracts are spoken. Others are formed in a single painful moment and then repeated for decades. I will never trust again. I must do everything alone. My needs are dangerous. If I shine, I will be punished. These vows can become invisible walls around the soul. Bring them into the light gently. You do not need to attack them. You only need to ask whether they still serve the life you are becoming. When a false contract begins to dissolve, guilt often appears. You may feel selfish for resting, disloyal for changing, or cruel for no longer participating in dynamics that drain you. But guilt is not always evidence that you had done something wrong. Sometimes it is simply the sensation of an old pattern losing its authority. Let the sensation move through you without immediately obeying it. You can be compassionate without remaining available for what diminishes you. You can love people without carrying their unresolved patterns as your assignment. The fifth shift is activating the field through your frequency. You have been waiting for permission to begin, but your field has been communicating all along. The way you enter a room, the way you listen, the way you refuse to amplify fear, the way you create beauty in a difficult environment. These are transmissions. Your mission does not necessarily begin with an audience. It begins with the quality of presence you bring into contact with life. A candle does not argue with darkness. It simply remains lit. In the same way, you do not need to dominate a room or announce your awakening in order to influence the atmosphere. A regulated nervous system can calm another nervous system. A truthful sentence can interrupt generations of silence. A kind presence can remind someone that they are not invisible. Your frequency travels through what you consistently embody. This does not mean you must be calm every moment or pretend to radiate light while moving through pain. Authentic frequency is not artificial positivity. It includes grief, uncertainty, anger, and the courage to acknowledge what is not aligned. A clear field is not a field without difficult emotions. It is a field in which emotions are allowed to move without becoming the entire identity. When you speak from that clarity, certain people may feel seen and others may feel challenged. Do not confuse resistance with failure. Not every person is meant to recognize the frequency you carry. Your role is not to convince everyone of your origin or persuade every skeptic to validate your perception. Your role is to become so internally coherent that your choices no longer depend on external permission. The sixth shift is learning to trust non-linear timing. The path of awakening rarely unfolds as a straight ascent. There are expansions, integrations, retreats, and returns. You may feel profoundly connected one week and deeply quiet the next. You may receive a vision and then enter a season in which nothing seems to move. This does not mean the connection was imaginary. It may mean the information is being translated into your nervous system, your relationships, and your practical life. A seed does not look inactive because it is empty. It looks inactive because its most important work is taking place beneath the surface. The same is true of you. The periods when you feel unseen may be strengthening the structure required to hold future visibility. The delays may be removing attachments to outcomes that were never aligned with your highest path. The silence may be teaching you to distinguish genuine guidance from the impulse to be constantly reassured. Ask yourself what remains true even when the emotion fades. What values continue to call you? What kind of life feels clean in your body? What action would you take if you no longer needed to prove that you were special, chosen, advanced, or different? These questions lead you away from performance and toward embodiment. They return you to the quiet river beneath the changing weather of your moods. The seventh shift is the return to service without self-erasure. Your gifts are not meant to become another reason to abandon yourself. You are not here to rescue every person who recognizes your light. You are not required to become endlessly available because you can sense what others are carrying. Service that is rooted in alignment includes boundaries, reciprocity, rest, and discernment. The highest form of contribution may not look impressive. It may be creating a safe space where one person can tell the truth. It may be building something that changes how people understand themselves. It may be raising a child with emotional freedom, caring for a body that was neglected, or choosing integrity in a place where compromise has become normal. The galactic intelligence within you is not measuring the size of your platform. It is responding to the sincerity of your participation. There is a reason you have felt different. There is a reason ordinary definitions of success have sometimes left you empty. There is a reason you have searched for a language spacious enough to contain what you know without proof. But being different does not mean you are separate from humanity. It means you are being invited to expand the definition of what humanity can hold. And now comes the deeper remembrance. You were never meant to awaken by rejecting the part of you that struggled. You were never meant to become so elevated that you could no longer feel the earth beneath your feet. The version of you that was confused, exhausted, emotional, and afraid was not a mistake in the transmission. That version was gathering the exact experiences your higher awareness needed in order to become compassionate, precise, and embodied. Your path has not been contaminated by the years you spent forgetting. Those years gave your awakening texture. They taught you the difference between fantasy and knowing, between intensity and truth, between being admired and being aligned. Every time you questioned yourself, something in you was learning how to seek a deeper confirmation than applause. Every time you felt isolated, something in you was developing the capacity to remain connected inwardly. Every time the old identity failed to contain you, the larger identity moved closer to the surface. Here is the truth. Your higher self has been trying to place gently into your awareness. You are not lost. You are arriving in layers. You are not empty of purpose. You are learning to recognize purpose without forcing it into a shape that others can understand. You did not fail to receive the signal. You became sensitive enough to notice how much interference surrounded it. The connection was never absent, It was beneath the roles, beneath the fear, beneath the demand to be ordinary in a way that made you disappear. It was present in the moments when you felt an inexplicable pull toward healing, discovery, beauty, protection, creativity, or truth. It was present when you could not accept cruelty as normal. It was present when you looked at the night sky and felt not loneliness but a question. It was present in every moment you chose to remain open. After life gave you reasons to close, your star lineage is not a costume, a status, or a reason to place yourself above anyone else. It is a responsibility to bring more awareness into the way you live. If you resonate with Arcturian frequency, let that resonance make you more discerning, more compassionate, more committed to coherence. Let it improve the way you treat your body, your agreements, your time, and the people who trust you. Let it lead you toward greater honesty rather than greater escape. Tonight, if it feels right, place one hand over your heart and one over your lower abdomen. Breathe slowly and say, I release the identities that conceal my truth. I welcome the memory that I am ready to embody. I align my awareness with clarity, compassion, and grounded purpose. Do not demand a vision. Do not force a sign. Simply allow the words to create an inner location where your deeper intelligence can meet you. You may not feel an immediate transformation. That does not mean nothing happened. Sometimes the most important activation is the decision to stop arguing with your own knowing. Sometimes it is the first quiet morning in which you do not reach for distraction before listening inwardly. Sometimes it is the moment you realize that your life does not need to look extraordinary in order to be deeply aligned. The signal is becoming clearer because you are becoming more honest. The timeline is shifting because your choices are shifting. The old field is losing its hold because you are no longer feeding it with automatic agreement. What once felt like a distant transmission is becoming a lived frequency expressed through your voice, your boundaries, your creativity, your patience, and your presence. You are not here to prove that you come from the stars. You are here to bring the wisdom of expanded awareness into the places that have forgotten their own potential. You are here to remember without becoming arrogant, to awaken without becoming detached, and to carry a larger truth without losing tenderness for the human journey. The tears were not weakness. They were a threshold. The stillness was not emptiness. It was the field making room. The recognition was not given to you from somewhere else. It was reflected back to the part of you that has always known. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what's forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real. Then respond to someone else's with encouragement or energy. This isn't content, it's collective alignment. Energy multiplies when intention connects. If something in this message resonated, don't keep it to yourself. Someone in your orbit is waiting for this exact activation. Share it. And if you felt a soul nudge, subscribe. Stay in the flow. You're not just watching, you're expanding. This is your space, and we're just getting started.